A beautiful morning to you out there. It's a beautiful, beautiful Friday. Thank God it's Friday. You can shout it out right here in the nation's capital, Abuja. Welcome to P&B Sports. My name is Rudon Musago, RMG, and I'm your host and guide us this beautiful Friday morning. Starting up today, we'll be looking at on the Flying Eagles camp resumption, which is slated for today in Abuja. And also, we'll be looking at the River Hoppers, who have done themselves prouder by clinching a win yesterday. We'll also be looking at African Cup of Nations aftermath, where Nigeria moved third place in the FIFA ranking in African terrain. And also, they've gone upwards in the world ranking. We'll be looking at that also, and also matches that will be going down today in the English Premier League and other major leagues ongoing. So we'll be looking at these and more, with also a transfer breaking news coming in from France, as Paris Saint-Germain's Kylian Mbappe has told the president that he will be leaving anytime soon. That is at the end of the season. Let's quickly go for a break, and when we come back, I will go straight to giving you what is trending in the sporting world today. Alright, so today we'll be doing a review of what had happened from Monday to today, where we'll be giving you all the headlines. So far, so good. We'll be starting up with the draws of the Sahara Conference in the African Basketball League, as they have been released. According to the draws, Nigeria champions Rivers Hoppers have been handed a very difficult group with the former champions US Monastery. The Rivers State side qualified to represent the country. They emerge as the 2023 champions in Nigerian League, and the Hoopers, who represented the country in the maiden edition of the league, are to compete with the likes of Rwanda's champions APR, AS Douanes of Senegal, and former champions US Monastery of Tunisia. And the Sahara Conference playoff will take place in Dakar, Senegal, from the 4th to the 12th of May 2024. So that is a good one for the River Hoppers there, who are going to be representing Nigeria in the contingent of the African game, talking about the African Basketball League. Now let's quickly shift gears from that one. We come straight back to Abuja, where FWC FC of Abuja showed their dominance with a resounding 3-1 victory over the King FC in the opening game of the Land Cup 2004. Goals from Timothy Dawenga in the 10th minute was replied by Ike Chukwu of the Kings FC 21 minutes later to still the first half with a goalless draw, with a 1-1 draw pace. However, the resumption of the second half saw FCWFC's head coach Bumi Haruna rang some changes with a paid off later in the game. Ugo Henry restored FWC's lead in the 75th minute, and Oko Joseph in the 85th minute goal secured all 3 points in a 3-1 victory for the team. Likens FC lost 1-0 to Northern to Setraco FC in the game played earlier in the day, while Capital City drew it all 2-2 with Sporting Supplies, and Fosla Academy lost 3-1 to NYSC FC in the game played a day before. While Ireland Cup Tournament 2024, which began on February the 13th, 2024 at the FIFA Goal Project Center Abuja, is an 8-team tournament meant to prepare the Nation League 1 NLO team based in FCT for the new season, which will kick off in April. And that is a good one for FWC FCs, as their next fixture is against Setraco FC later today by 2 p.m. Alright, so let's quickly glance through what is going to be transpiring out there in the Nigerian Professional Football League, as clubs continue to make signings before the second stanza of the league opens. This time around, Kwara United has announced the signing of new players in the Nigerian Professional Football League, 10 of them to be precise, according to a statement from the club media. The new players include Ibrahim Dahinde, Ibrahim Gamadoshi, Jimo Omilekon, Odobi Obi Bernard, Sani Nuruddin Omolaja, Daniel Isaac and Nemona, and Oladip Kokolaole, and also Redwan, who is a goalkeeper. Others include Adeniji Kabiru Adewale, Alade Abdulaziz Wasiu, and Ahmed Olariwaju Yakubu, who are all making returns to the team after a forced spell. Recall that the 10th player, Hafiz Norusim Babatunde, was signed much earlier during the same window and had played some matches in the first round of the Nigerian Professional Football League 2023-2024 season. Kwara United begins the second round of the 2023-2024 Nigerian Professional Football League season in March Day 20 encounter in Akure against Sunshine Stars on Sunday, February the 18th. All right, so Sunshine Stars, also talking about them, we have some news coming in from the club as Sunshine Stars Club of Akure has unveiled a former Plateau United coach, talking about Kennedy Boboye as the team technical advisor. Yes, the announcement came in yesterday, and the unveiling also was held yesterday as the former Abia Warriors and Heartland manager agreed to join Sunshine Stars following the sack of Edith Ogoye, who led the team to the 14th place standing on the log. Other technical crew members unveiled alongside Kennedy Boboye include Kaede Julius, who is the chief coach, Nwachuku Ifeanyi as the assistant coach, and John Gadi as goalkeeper trainer. And also unveiled was the 2013 AFCON winner Godfrey Itama Obobwana. Obobwana made his return to the team following successful spells with clubs in Europe. While Boboye thanked the management of the team for giving him the opportunity to serve and lead the team again, he sought the cooperation of everyone and promised to give his best as he supports everyone. Also, just like the saying comes in from the art piece of the former president of Nigeria, talking about Buhari. He says, I am for everyone and I am for no one. That is what Kennedy Boboye is trying to start up with in Sunshine Stars. Now let's move here to the next story, where the chairman of the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, Technical Committee, Alan Sharif Inua, has disclosed that the federal government of Nigeria will take final decision on whether the contract of the Nigerian Super Eagles coach Jose Pesero should be extended or not. Jose Pesero contract ended while they just concluded the African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire, and Alan, who revealed this exclusively to newsmen that at the Gold Project in Abuja on Thursday, said that the board will likely meet next week to review the AFCON outing and make recommendation to the supervising ministry head by Senator John Eno. Jose Pesero, a national project, not only NFF project. Our duty is to recommend for them, for the ministry, and whatever decisions taken is their duty to implement. That is the statement coming from Alan there. And the Kano State FA chairman attributed Super Eagles loss at the final to the Elephant of Cote d'Ivoire to fatigue. Well, if you say fatigue, then it means the Cote d'Ivoireans should have more fatigue than the Nigerian Super Eagles. Looking at how their matches went down, much of extra time games, much of tense games from their opponent until they get to the final. So should he say it is fatigue, or should he say it is just mere tantamount? All right, let's quickly go for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be taking the next stories and also moving straight to the European, the European scene, where we have the likes of the English Premier League, the Spanish La Liga, the Italian Serie A, and other leagues. My name is Ridwan Musago, RMG. We'll be right back. right, welcome back. Glad to know you're still with P&B Sport right here on your Friday's edition. And yes, the repeat of this program will come your way tomorrow, Saturday, where you get to see what we've actually discussed right here, and also get to be abreast of what will be coming up next week. Now let's go straight to the Nigerian camp, where Nigeria in the FIFA ranking have moved third in Africa. Yes, after helping Nigerian Super Eagles to second place, finish in the 34th edition of the African Cup of Nations, Ivory Coast Jose Pasero is set to dump Nigeria for Algeria. All right, so sorry, that is not the story I'm supposed to be taking. I'm supposed to be looking at the 14th place to 28th position on the latest FIFA World Ranking. Following the impressive outing in the just concluded AFCON, Super Eagles are now ranked third in Africa. Recall that Cote d'Ivoire came from behind to defeat Nigeria and in their third African Cup of Nations title in Abidjan. Only Morocco, who is first, and Senegal second in Africa, ahead of the three-time African Cup of Nations champions, the top 10 countries. 12 sitting in the world is Morocco, while Nigeria 28 in the world, and Cote d'Ivoire 39th in the world. Algeria 43rd, Mali 47th, Cameroon is 53rd, and South Africa is 58, Burkina Faso is 61, Democratic Republic of Congo is 63, and Cape Verde is 65. These are the rankings coming in. Now let's go back to the head coach of the Nigerian Super Eagles quickly. After helping Nigerian Super Eagles to the second place in the African Cup of Nations Cote d'Ivoire 2023 edition. Yes, that fourth edition, despite stories and rumors hoping that his contract will be reinstated. Yes, Algeria are putting eyes on the Portuguese Magafa, who did enormous work to ensure that the Nigerian Super Eagles finish in respective position. Giuseppe Pasero, his performance in Ivory Coast has drawn a huge attention to him, as the Algerian Football Association have concluded plans to appoint him as their next manager of the Desert Folks. Former coach Jamal Belmadi was relieved of his position after the team failed to go beyond the first round of the competition. According to the update from the North African country, the football body is ready to offer Joseph Pasero a whooping sum of $90,000 as a salary, as against the $50,000 the Nigerian Super Eagles are actually giving him. It remains to be seen that if he will leave Nigeria, as no response has been given to the Algerian LFA. All right, so now let's quickly glance through the European scene, starting up with a bit of stories coming in from the transfer scene. France striker Kylian Mbappe has told Paris Saint-Germain he intends to leave the club at the end of the season. The 25-year-old deals with the League One champions is scheduled to expire, and he has been heavily linked with the move to Real Madrid. Mbappe's future was subject to a major standoff with the Paris Saint-Germain side last summer. At one point, Mbappe was excited from the first team squad and left out of the club's preseason tour of Asia. However, an agreement was reached that ensured Paris Saint-Germain would not lose out when Mbappe eventually left, and the terms of this is now seemingly inevitable exit are still to be confirmed. So, whose big team will be gunning for the hands of Kylian Mbappe? Real Madrid are the most favorite right now, and in fact, there have been too many talks between these two clubs, Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid, and also Kylian Mbappe coming out to make some comment on Real Madrid. So what do you think, Real Madrid fans, or should we say Barcelona fans? Will you be gunning for him? Would you want to take him as a replacement of Lionel Messi, or would you allow Real Madrid to take him as a replacement of Cristiano Ronaldo? Well, these are banters that are going to be continuing. Let's go straight to transfer scene this time around at the Gossip Center, where a lot is happening. Crystal Palace says manager Roy Hodgson is in stable hospital. Is stable at the hospital after he was taken ill during the training on Thursday morning. Palace cancelled a news conference after the 76-year-old became unwell. And it was widely reported on Thursday morning that Palace are set to sack Roy Hodgson with the club 15th in the Premier League and 5 points clear of a relegation zone. Palace face Everton at Goodison Park in the English Premier League on Monday Night Football following the news that Roy Hodgson was taken ill during today's training season. We can now confirm that it is now stable and he is currently undergoing tests in the hospital, the club said in an official platform of the Twitter, formerly Twitter. And everybody at the club sends their best wishes to Roy Hodgson for speedy recovery. All right, we just hope that the man gets well and gets back to what he knows how to do best. Now let's quickly go straight to transfer scene, where the Napoleon Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen is among the Paris Saint-Germain's leading candidate to replace 25-year-old France forward Kylian Mbappe in the French League, or as the man is expected to leave his club at the end of the season, while Bayern Munich are increasing likely to part ways with manager Thomas Tuchel in the summer and are ready set to rival Liverpool in trying to appoint Bayern Leverkusen boss Xabi Alonso. Former Germany and Bayern Munich's manager Hansen Flick is on Barcelona's shortlist to replace Xavi, while Bayern will also consider the 50-year-old should they decide to sack Tuchel. And former Eintracht Frankfurt boss Oliver Glasner has agreed to take charge of Crystal Palace, who are expected to part ways with Roy Hodgson. Brighton has braced for the possible departure of boss Roberto De Zerbi at the end of the season, with the Italian attracting interest from Liverpool and Manchester United. While Barcelona and Spain midfielder Gavi, 19 years old of age, is a summer transfer target for Paris Saint-Germain, as Barcelona want to bring in a left winger in the summer after monitoring Arsenal's 22-year-old international Gabriel Martinelli, Brighton and Japan Kaoru Mitoma, and also 23-year-old Kivjaj Kovacic of Napoli from Georgia, while Arsenal value 22-year-old England winger Bukayo Saka to be between 150 and 200 million pounds. This is world-breaking story coming in. 150 to 200 million pounds for Bukayo Saka. So anybody who wants to get Bukayo Saka shirts should get ready for such huge amount of money. Chelsea and Arsenal are keen on West Ham and Ghana attacking midfielder Mohamed Kudus, as Chelsea have made an offer to bring Brighton head of recruitment Sam Joel to Stamford Bridge. Norwich are also interested in replacing manager David Warner with Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta as assistant Carlos Queiroz in the summer. And Newcastle are confident that they can demand a compensation fee for more than £10 million if sporting director Dan Ashworth leaves the club to join Manchester United. And Manchester United are also working on a deal to hire Southampton director of football Jason Willock and Leeds United manager Daniel Farke is in line to be offered an improved deal if he manages to get to the Ellen Road club promoted into the English Premier League. So those are the transfer scenes this weekend. Let's look at what is going to be triumphing in the weekend football. It's going to be a very interesting football moment, especially for those in the Spanish La Liga. Yes, those of you who are lovers of Spanish La Liga and the English Premier League, to be precise, those two leagues have a very encountering matches to go down with. Let's start with the results before we give you fixtures. Yesterday, AC Milan, yes, won 3 goals to nothing against Rennes, as Benfica defeated Toulouse 2 goals to 1 thanks to an Angel Di Maria's late goal in that encounter, as Lens and Fribourg went on a goalless draw. SC Braga lost at home to Carabao 4 goals to 2, and Feyenoord and AS Roma went on a 2-2 draw. Galatasaray defeated Sparta Praga 3 goals to 2, as Shakhtar Donetsk and Marseille went on a 2-2 draw. Young Boys were at home and they lost to Sporting CP 3 goals to 1 in that encounter. All right, now we go straight to the Europa Conference. Ajax lost 2-2 to Bodo Glimt. Ajax drew 2-2 to Bodo Glimt. Maccabi Haifa defeated Gent 1-0. Real Betis lost to Dynamo Zagreb 1-0 as Servette and Ludogorets went on a goalless draw. We had Molde defeating Lagos Warsaw 3-2 as Olympiacos also defeated Ferencvaros 1-0. Stonegrass stunned Slovenia Brastil. It was the night football. Now let's go glance through the fixtures of matches that will be coming down today, tomorrow Sunday, tomorrow Saturday, next tomorrow Sunday, and also on the Monday night football when we resume to give you all the happenings. Let's quickly go straight to the fixtures of games where we had La Liga, and on Friday we'll be seeing very, very tight games coming in this one. But before we go straight to doing this, as we're trying to see if it's going to be popping up, let's look at the African Cup of Nations, where Nigerian Super Eagles had 3 players in the log-in, which it became one of the best team of the African, all-time best team of the African Cup of Nations, where 3 players from each from 2 different teams were named in the team of the tournament. Well, congratulations to Nigeria, Ola Aina Onyeka, and also William Trust Ekonga for that feat. Now let's go straight to giving you the Friday night football fixtures. Bundesliga. Cologne will be taking on Werder Bremen 7:30 p.m. While the Italian Serie A, Torino will take on Lecce, and AC Milan will take on Salernitana. La Liga, Villarreal will take on Getafe 8 p.m. tonight, and Ligue 1, Lyon will take on OGC Nice 8 p.m. In the English Premier League on Saturday night football, early kickoff, Brentford will be taking on Liverpool. Now that is one big game everybody's eyeing on, because even Tony, there is a possibility he'll be moving to Liverpool, and he wants to make an impact in that team. And let's not forget, by record-breaking, even Tony has scored more goals when they met with Liverpool, even though they are always on the losing side. But at least 1 goal from Ivan Toney gets to the back of the net. So what do you think about that game? Burnley will be taking on Arsenal. Arsenal will be welcomed in the Burnley shores by Vincent Kompany, who was a former Manchester City man who has also nodded so many goals for the Burnleys for Manchester City in his days. And that game will come away 3 p.m. on Saturday. 3 p.m. also Fulham versus Aston Villa, Newcastle versus Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest versus West Ham United, and Tottenham Hotspur versus Wolves by 3 p.m. simultaneously. Now the big game, the Super Saturday game, is the games between the 2 Blues. They call it the Blue Derby. The Blue from Manchester and the Blue from London. Manchester City will be at home at Etihad to welcome the Blues of London, Chelsea Football Club FC, by 5:30 kick-off time Nigerian time on Saturday. What do you think about that particular game, Manchester City versus Chelsea? It's going to be a very tight encounter, a record-breaking match when it comes every time. And in German Bundesliga on Saturday, 2:30 kick-off, Darmstadt will take on Stuttgart. Odin Fame will take on Leverkusen. Hoffenheim will host Union Berlin, as Mainz will take on Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg will take on Borussia Dortmund. And 5:30 kick-off, RB Leipzig will take on Borussia Mönchengladbach. And then in the Italian Serie A on Saturday, we get to see Napoli take on Genoa. Verona will take on Juventus, as Atlanta will host Sassuolo. The return of Victor Osimhen for Napoli starts tomorrow. So I guess he has actually wiped off the pains of not clinching the cup of the African Cup of Nations, and then he moved forward with his club activities. Now let's go to the Spanish La Liga, where big games, big games, most especially for Valencia and Sevilla. This is one of the biggest games that will be coming down. And also, there is a there's also a Barca derby between Celta de Vigo versus Barcelona, and that game will be coming away 5:30. What a game to watch. Celta de Vigo slugging out with Barcelona. Osasuna will take on Cadiz. Atletico Madrid will take on Las Palmas, as Valencia will host Sevilla 8 p.m. Now in the French League on Saturday, Lille will take on La Havre, and Nantes will be hosting Paris Saint-Germain in that Saturday games. And now let's go straight to Sunday night football, as Manchester United will be taking on Luton 4:30 p.m. while 2 p.m. Sheffield will be taking on Brighton in the English Premier League, and the Spanish La Liga. In the German Bundesliga, 2:30 kick-off, Freiburg will take on Eintracht Frankfurt, and Bochum will host Bayern Munich by 4:30 kick-off. In the Italian Serie A, early kick-off 11:30 a.m. Lazio will take on Bologna, Empoli will take on Fiorentina 2 p.m. Udinese will take on Cagliari 2 p.m. At 5 p.m. Fiorentina will take on AS Roma, as Monza will host AC Milan by 7:45 p.m. And then the Spanish La Liga, early kick-off 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. Rayo Vallecano will take on Real de Madrid, and 15 minutes past the hour of 3 p.m. we'll be seeing Granada hosting Almeria. Real Mallorca by 5:30 will take on Real Sociedad, and Real Betis will slug it out with Alaves by 8 p.m. on Sunday evening. And the French League early kick-off 12 noon. Strasbourg will take on Lorient 2 p.m. Monaco will take on Toulouse. Montpellier will host Metz 2 p.m. Rennes will take on Clermont Foot. As 4:05, Reims will be seeing Lens in a battle, while 7:45 p.m. Brest will take on Olympique de Marseille. So these are the matches that we're going down in the weekend. Whole package of football for you guys to watch this weekend. And don't forget to enjoy yourself. The repeat of this program will be coming your way tomorrow by 4:30 p.m., which is tomorrow Saturday by 4:30 p.m. just for you to have a glance of what have happened from the week down to the weekend. My name is Rudon Muzaga or RMJ, and I'm saying do have a pleasant weekend and do stay out of trouble. Bye for now.